Welcome, everybody. It is Two Vintage Sports Guys. I am Joe Rondacci, and I am here with my partner
Hey, this is Paul Gallagher in Atlanta.
in Atlanta. What's the weather in Atlanta today? It's
It
crappy and
has not
rainy here in
rained.
Sarasota, Florida.
No, it's dry. It's desert-like. It's sandstorms of pollen. Nobody likes to go outside, so we're trapped in doing podcasts. It's all
So
great.
everybody looks like the Jolly Green Giant with their green dust on them.
Exactly, exactly. It's a phenomenon like unlike anything else in the country, I think, but it's not good, not good at all. But
Gives
let's move
everybody
on.
more time to stay inside and finish watching the Elite Eight. And after we had the Sweet 16 Elite Eight this weekend, started Friday night with those four-letter word Dukies beating my St. John's and sending Patino crying home. And then it was followed up with, what do we have after that? We
Well, it
had
was followed up
UConn.
with Patino. I mean, Patino, he comes out to the press conference and he says, you left us hanging for 30 minutes. Why don't you change the entire way you do things and interview the losers first, which actually went over pretty well. I think he hit home with a lot of people and said, interview the losing team first, get that out of the way, allow the winners to celebrate and allow the losers to get the hell out of here. And
And I agree,
pretty well
not
said.
because
Yeah.
Patino and Mike Johnny said that, but like you want to like make make it worse for them. They lost.
Yeah.
Let them get up there, say why they
Yeah.
lost, get the hell out of there, go shower, go home, and let the winners play We Are the Champions for the next 2 hours.
Yes, exactly. And it sounds like all the old school guys are losing, the vintage guys, if you would, are losing. Calipari's out, Patino's out. The old guys are going, dropping like flies.
There's two Italians that are out, so
Mm.
this is all racist. That's what I got.
Okay.
To
But I don't
So
really follow it. I think it's kind of boring. All my buddies follow it. My text chains are filled with betting and all kinds of fun stuff. But as I look through it, it's all number one seeds. One Arizona will probably play Michigan. The Illini will play either one or two. So it's the same old stuff. I'm an underdog. I root for the underdog guys. So not really that exciting to me, a non-basketball, non-college basketball guy, but I'll still probably watch a little bit of it.
so here's what I'll say. I agree with most of that, and I literally didn't get into it until like 2 weeks before the contest started. And then I just think that first Thursday, Friday of all the games, the buzzer beaters, the
Yeah.
split screens, it could almost be an EA Sports game where like nobody's got a name. It doesn't matter. It's just the old adage, the old joke in the NBA: give both teams 100 points in 2 minutes, and you don't have to watch anything else. It's the same thing. Give each team in the NCAA March Madness 60 points in 2 minutes, and that's your game. Because some of them are coming back from 18 down, 19 down, but at the end of it, they're tied with 2 minutes to go. So, that's what it's all about.
Yeah, I think you just summed up basketball. Just watch the last 2 minutes and we're pretty good. I'm more, switching over. I probably don't want to, you don't want to talk about it, but the Frozen Four tournament is currently going on as well, which is the NCAA Division One hockey tournament. It follows 16 teams. Some of the same schools have multiple teams going. Michigan's playing Minnesota Duluth. Michigan State lost to Wisconsin. My Bentley Falcons were 16th going up against the number one seed Michigan and got wiped out. So it's a plug for the Bentley Falcons. But Denver's playing
So,
Western
so
Michigan and North Dakota.
that's college hockey.
College hockey D1 follows the same kind of format, but it's 16 teams, and it's called the Frozen Four. So we're just
That's
finishing
interesting.
up the semifinals today.
I've never heard of that. So that's
Wow.
I'll have to look into that. But let me ask you this, because I find I actually used to be just a college basketball guy in the day and really never followed college football because as a New Yorker, what I have
Yeah.
Rutgers, like there's nothing up there. Like it's not like being in the SEC in the South or anything, right? So right now there's three guys in Jersey that are trying to like want to kill me because I mentioned Rutgers, but
Yes.
you
State University of New Jersey. Way to go.
and as you know, as a Philly
Scarlet
guy
Knights.
moving to Atlanta, as I moved to Atlanta, I literally had to study college football in the South. I had to learn all the SEC teams. I had to learn all the rivalries. I didn't know what Go Tide meant. I thought it was a detergent commercial on TV, right? Like I don't know any of that stuff. So I literally had to study. And as you know, from being a sales guy, most conversations friendly start off with, "Hey, did you see the game this weekend?" before any business gets done. Right?
Yeah,
So
you have to fake it. You also have to do more homework because it's not Go Tide, it's Roll Tide. But anyway, you're back to the
oh,
books for you. You'll
yeah,
have to
actually,
learn,
I'm
more.
saying what I thought it was. I
Well,
obviously know what it
you
was now.
know.
But my question is, having then gotten deep into college football and kind of faded off of college basketball, you didn't really have a university that had a great team in both college football and college basketball until recently with the portal and the whole NIL stuff. Like we were talking about on a podcast a few days ago, the SEC was not any good in college basketball. Now, Alabama made it, Georgia made it, Tennessee is still in it. Now you have universities that are good in both college football and basketball. Yes, there's your Frozen Four of hockey conversation. And I don't really know if there's a school that's good in all three like that.
Michigan.
But
Michigan is probably the one out of anything that's good in all three. They're a 1 seed in hockey. They've got basketball, they've got football. So, yeah, there's a few where the money gets spread around. And that's really what it's all about, I think, is the money spread around. Even in cards, you can look at it, where the money goes and the licensing goes, so goes the values of the cards. It's all kind of interrelated in the value. But you're right, SEC is now huge. It encompasses schools like, Missouri. I mean, football has gotten so big and the SEC is so large.
Vanderbilt's good now.
Yeah, Vandy's good with it. Well, they were, so they lost this little 5'9" quarterback who might even be 5'8". I'm not sure, but we'll see, when he comes out. But yeah, there's all kinds. Maybe NIL makes it more fair, or I think in the case of football, NIL will probably break up college football into the top 20, breaking away from everybody else, because there are schools that I think because of the NIL and where all the money's going, they have to drop certain programs. There was a program this week who dropped Division I hockey, and that's really all they had. So we'll see what the long-term effects are. They won't be good, but we'll see.
All right. So just to cap up on the NCAA with the Elite Eight, as you were saying, we're going to have it's Duke versus UConn, right? It's Arizona. Arizona beat Purdue. So then today we got Michigan, and really the only Cinderella left, going back to the SEC, is Tennessee, who's a 6 seed. I think Michigan should easily beat them. They're given 8.5 points there. And then, so if Michigan wins, you're gonna have Michigan, Arizona. Most
Illinois
likely, I think Duke beats UConn. You're gonna have three number ones, and Illinois a 3 seed as the final fourth.
yeah,
And
that
thing.
that sucks. As a guy who roots for underdogs, that sucks. But
Well,
we'll see.
root for Tennessee then.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll go Volunteers, go Vols.
So let's go back to just finish up your Frozen Four thing. So I know nothing of college hockey. I'll have to get into that. Who has been the traditional legacy powerhouses? Give me the top three over the last 20 years.
Yeah, North Dakota's there, Michigan, even Wisconsin, all of the located in the Great Plains, and Denver's always there. That's a perennial powerhouse. So the Michigan schools, Western Michigan, Michigan State, and Michigan are all there. Wisconsin's there. Some smaller schools like my Bentley, Penn State had the number 1 overall NHL Gavin McKenna player for him, but they lost to Minnesota Duluth. So Penn State tried to get back on the map with him. Couldn't quite do it. You've got some smaller schools like Minnesota State, but hockey's a centrally located sport, and so all of the powerhouses belong in the Great Plains states, the upper part of the country in Minnesota, all the winter states. So, but they're all back, and it's going to conclude today. One last game at 3:00, and then we'll get set up for the semifinals and finals the week of the 9th through the 11th.
All right. So what I got out of that was Michigan.
Michigan.
That's the
Michigan,
that's the
Michigan
really
State,
powerhouse across all three sports.
and North Dakota.
Yeah, but North Dakota doesn't really do the football and
No,
the
no,
basketball.
right, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm
Or the
saying
hockey.
one that goes across the
Yeah,
three.
Michigan.
We'd say Michigan
Michigan
would
and
be the
you
big
could
one.
give some to Wisconsin. They typically have a decent team
They do.
in the other sports as well.
They do. What about? I always think when I think Wisconsin, I always think Nebraska for whatever reason. Does Nebraska have a hockey team?
Your geography is kind of way
Oh, I
off.
know where it
No
is. I'm
one
just
knows why
asking.
you would think of Nebraska when you think of
I
Wisconsin. So
always
that's a
do.
mystery. That's a mystery.
We'll
Think of
explore
Mickey
that
Mantle. Think of
on
Nebraska.
an
Yeah.
agendaless podcast one day.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
All right. So now, based upon what we just talked about, let's throw some card information. I know you had shared a great link on some hot topics. Talk to me about some
Yeah,
cards.
what I'm looking at is I'm looking at the Beckett hot list, the March 23rd. It's an email that goes out every week, and it shows you the hot and cold cards, and of course it's baseball season, like you just said. So Topps Heritage Baseball has, Ohtani and Judge are always the favorites there. In basketball, we've got Cooper Flag still going, and Victor Wembanyama. And hockey, we got Cole Caulfield and one of your guys, Nikita Kucherov, and that's from Upper Deck. And then they even spotlight some football. Back to basketball for a second. Luka Doncic is featured, and then in football, they say Tyler show for the New Orleans Saints. Man, maybe he'll make it this year. Who knows? But yeah, it's a good little list. It keeps you engaged week to week. It shows you what's hot. A lot of it is seasonal, like with the sports. So, Heritage. I got a box of Heritage cards yesterday that I pulled, and that's a fun box to pull. You've got inserts in there that are fun, and I didn't get any Shoheis, but I got a couple of Phillies and some other cards, so it's all good.
Are they all worth money, or is at this point is the market so flooded with anything with Shohei that it's really his early cards?
I mean, Shohei is just blown away the doors of everything. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and he had been purchasing Japanese Shohei Otanis for the last few months, and that market has exploded. So the beginning of baseball really showcases the standards, like Shohei, like Judge, like some of the other guys, and some of the rookies too. So the beginning of baseball, probably your values are peaking right about now. So, and then I went to a card show yesterday in Georgia, jam packed, Pokemon, sports. So the hobby's definitely alive with the beginning of baseball season, and everybody going after everything.
What was the demographics there yesterday?
It was very diverse. So it was heavy Pokemon. So you had the mix of Pokemon in the sports world, young and old, vintage guys, young people. It was really, fathers and sons. So there's a lot of kids going around with their parents. It was really encouraging that in Cobb County, Georgia, the market's alive and well. And even talking to some of the vendors, it was one of their best shows that they've had in a month or so.
Who'd you see from the traditional brick and mortar stores there in Atlanta that had a booth or a table?
Yeah, I mean, most of them were. The largest shop here is Cards HQ. They had a healthy buying section, and they were actually right next door to the card show. And then a lot of independent folks buying as well. So it's a great place to network and find new sources for cards and talk to a few people that'll source for us. But yeah, it's all good.
Did you see a lot of mystery boxes built?
I
People
did not
buying them?
actually. That's a good one. No, I didn't. I'm not a huge fan of those to begin with. But I did not see a lot of mystery packs and whatnot. I can't stand those. But um, I did see vintage boxes of cards that were selling for $10 a pack from '83 and '84, which I thought was too high a price to go with. But there was literally everything there, so it was a good diverse crowd.
Yeah, I had gone to one here in Tampa a few months ago, and it was cards, comics,
Hmm.
and collectibles. So they had like the Back to the Future car. They had all different weird, wacky thing, and it looked like one of those cosplay conferences where half of them are dressed as somebody. But they had a lot of card booths that had not so much mystery packs. They had mystery boxes. They looked like
Right.
big,
Yeah.
big as a toaster, like with a little bow on it, and it would tell you what was in it, like 6 decks of this and that. And that's why I was curious if you saw a lot of mystery boxes, like bigger things.
Yeah, no, gambling 101. I'm not a huge fan of those, but I can see the allure. I just don't like it. I think if you walk away with a, not happy, then you walk away not happy, and that's not a good customer engagement. So that's my
So,
perspective
so
at
what'd you
least.
buy?
I actually didn't buy anything. I looked around. I had a pocket full of cash ready to go, and I decided that I would wait. It's not always the best place to buy out for if you're not buying for your personal collection. We did go to a store next door and bought a Jack Hughes Olympic card, and then I bought some wax. I bought an Upper Deck tin that's out for hockey, and then I bought another box of Heritage Hobby Box. So all
So
good
give
there.
them a terminology 101 when you say wax to those that have no idea what you're talking about on this.
Okay, so wax is referred to as the sealed product, so the boxes of cards, and you can get those at Dick's and Target in what they call blaster boxes, or you can go to your card shop and you can get hobby boxes, and on those it tells you what you're going to get. You're going to get a relic or auto in the hobby boxes, the tin. So it's any sealed product that you're going to buy and rip packs open for.
All right, cool. All right. Well, we are at our mark. We want to keep the listeners short and sweet so they get on with their day, enjoy the Final Four, the Frozen Four, and four of something they want to eat while they watch it. Any final thoughts?
No, that's it. We'll do just a quick one today, and I think as we go forward, we'll just try to teach everybody a little bit about the collection, about the hobby, about sports, give you a little bit of insight on what's going on and what to look for, and find out what kind of hobbyist you are.
All right. Very good. Well, wrapping up, this is Joe Renducci.
And Paul Gallagher. Bye bye.
Enjoy your grain moss, Paul.
See ya.